From his debut performance to his latest victories, fans have been in awe of his punching power. Known for his devastating knockouts and impressive athleticism, Ngannou has quickly become one of the most feared fighters in the UFC. But is he truly the hardest hitter in MMA? Let's find out. Ngannou is the kind of fighter who can make his opponents tremble in fear just by stepping into the octagon, standing at a towering 6 feet and 4 inches with muscles jutting like a python. Ngannou is a sight to behold.
Francis Ngannou has the world record for the most powerful punch.
He's like a real-life superhero with incredible physical strength that makes him one of the most formidable opponents in the industry. Back in 2017, Ngannou paid a visit to the UFC Performance Institute, where he recorded his punching power.
His punch is the equivalent to 96 horsepower. Holy
And boy, did he make an impression. He shattered the world record for the hardest punch ever recorded.
Over 129,000 units. That's higher than the previous record of 114,000 demonstrated by kickboxer Tyrone.
A staggering 129,161 units, a feat previously held by Dutch kickboxer Tyrone Spong.
Known as the King of the Ring, Tyrone Spong!
Even the former world's strongest man, Eddie Hall, couldn't come close.
It's all about techniques, you can't, no one can just go and pull a plane or a truck. You've got to practice the footwork, the handwork.
To Ngannou's incredible power. But that's not all. He also earned a 122,000 unit off-balance uppercut punch.
To try to get a matchup with Ngannou. Oh! Goes the Reem! Francis Ngannou!
And his speed power clocks in at 51,064 foot-pounds per second. To put that in perspective, that's equal to the horsepower of a modest family car. Yes, you read that right. A car. Imagine yourself getting hit by a Honda City.
His punch is the equivalent to 96 horsepower, which is equal to getting hit by a Ford Escort.
And now you have an idea of what it feels like to take a shot from Ngannou in the octagon. With a record of 12 knockout victories in 17 total fights, this man's punching prowess is legendary.
That's what we were talking about, ladies and gentlemen.
Paging Stipe Miocic.
Dana White himself once compared the force of his punch to that of a sledgehammer being swung at full force.
It's more powerful than a 12-pound sledgehammer swung full force from overhead.
And it's no surprise that a fighter with such physical feats is bound to find success in any kind of combat. As he prepared for his title defense against Cyril Gane at UFC 270 back in 2022,
I know that he's going to be a tough opponent. Well, I was surprised that he holds until the end of the fight,
Nick Sick appeared on the MMA Hour podcast and gave fans a glimpse of just how powerful Ngannou's strikes are. He recounted an incident where he was hit in the back with a wooden baseball bat, which broke on impact, but he didn't feel a thing. But when it came to a kick from Ngannou, Nick Sick couldn't walk for 2 weeks.
I'm just kind of enjoying the moment. Enjoying the process and understanding that, yeah, it's a big fight.
That's just how intense and powerful Ngannou's strikes are. It's no wonder that he's considered one of the hardest hitters in MMA, and he's got the record to prove that fact as well. His training under coaches like Nick Sick and Cooper has only helped him sharpen his skills. The switch to Extreme Couture seems to have paid off, winning him the heavyweight title back in March 2021 and also successfully defending it. Ngannou is undoubtedly one of the most fearsome fighters in the MMA world. He's faced some tough opponents throughout his career in the promotion, but his devastating power has been on full display in many of his fights. I mean, just look at some of his fights, such as the one against Alistair Overeem at UFC 218.
TKO the Demolition Man, Alistair Overeem.
Overeem might have been around the block in the world of MMA, but he was no match for the pure, unadulterated power of Ngannou. The fans could feel the tension in the air as both fighters entered the ring, ready to rumble. It didn't take long for Ngannou to showcase his power, instantly sending him plummeting to the mat. It was over in just 26 seconds, and the referee had to intervene to stop the fight. The devastating power of Ngannou's punch was on full display yet again, and the crowd was in awe of his prowess, just as it was during his bout with Junior Dos Santos at UFC Fight Night 166. Dos Santos was known for his prowess in striking.
Congratulations on an outstanding performance. Former champion, ladies and gentlemen, Junior Dos Santos.
But, as we all know, Ngannou was no slouch. As the bell rang, the two fighters stepped forward to face each other. Dos Santos had a look of determination on his face, but Ngannou's eyes gleamed with an intense fire. The opening seconds of the fight were a blur of movement and adrenaline. And then, in the blink of an eye, Ngannou's fist connected with Dos Santos' chin, and the crowd gasped as he fell to the mat like a sack of potatoes. The referee stepped in to stop the fight, and Ngannou was declared the winner. Dos Santos may have been a great fighter, but on that night, Ngannou proved that he was simply too powerful for anyone to handle.
Francis, the Predator Ngannou.
Lastly, how can I not mention his rematch with Stipe Miocic at UFC 260?
Stipe Miocic.
The crowd held their breath as the two fighters circled each other, each one ready to unleash their power upon the other. Miocic may have been the champ, but Ngannou came with a vengeance. The two fighters started off strong, trading blows that would have knocked out the average Joe in just the first round. And then, like a bolt of lightning, Ngannou's fist connected with Miocic's face, sending the champion reeling. But he didn't go down easily, fighting back with all his might, determined to hold on to his title. And yet, Ngannou's punches kept coming, each one more powerful than the last. The second round was a blur of movement and adrenaline, with both fighters giving it their all. Then, in a split second, Ngannou's fist connected with Miocic's chin. And the rest is history. But hey, that's all there is for the knockout artist with the heavy blows.
Tonight, I'm just gonna celebrate with my team out here. Everyone put in work.
Heavyweight champion of the world, Francis, the Predator